Hey, everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Advocate Information Highway. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a very important, uh, very interesting topic for today's show, in which it is there needs to be national proper police reform. Okay. And um, I want to start off by saying that from all of us here at Advocate Information Highway, we send our thoughts and our prayers to the family of Tyre Nichols in Memphis. And I'm sure all you out there know that Mr. Nichols was another victim of police brutality in which uh, he was killed by police officers. And um, this is really a horrible incident. This is something that has been going on for way too long, and this garbage needs to stop. And I've said this before in prior episodes, ladies and gentlemen, that there needs to be a national proper police reform. I want to say that um, police officers have a very difficult job. There's no denying that. Um, and there are many good police officers out there. But the facts are the facts, and the facts are that uh, there are also, unfortunately, many bad police officers out there, and it's the bad police officers that make the good police officers look bad. And um, the bad police officers, like the examples, the ones that commit murder, they need to be put in prison. They need to be put in prison, bottom line. And we do need to help protect the good police officers. Okay? And the videos show that these officers, the ones that killed Mr. Nichols, the videos from the body cameras of the police officers show that these officers were supposedly trying to say that Mr. Nichols was driving recklessly, um, and that's why they went to pull him over. But the camera shows that Mr. Nichols was not driving recklessly at all. And the camera also shows that these officers were very much hyped up. They were amped up even before they pulled over Mr. Nichols. So nobody knows what happened before they pulled over Mr. Nichols, meaning nobody knows what happened before to make these police officers get so hyped up, so amped up. And um, these police officers, they were way over the top, way over the top. And even many of the higher brass of the Memphis Police Department was saying that these officers were already amped up even before they pulled over Mr. Nichols. And these officers did not do the right thing at all. This was from the higher brass of the Memphis Police Department. And, you know, I understand that the police officers have a very difficult job. I know that. They put their lives on the line every single day for us. Okay, that's facts. Okay. Um, and at one point, Mr. Nichols was so terrified from these police officers that he took off running. Okay. In which the police officers had to give chase, which made things even worse. And once they caught Mr. Nichols, um, they at some point they got him down to the ground and he was handcuffed. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Once the person is down on the ground and handcuffed, that should be the end of the terrorism. That the officers should just then have picked them up and put them in the back of the police car. And that should have been the end of that. But these officers were so hyped up, so amped up for some reason. And even before they pulled over Mr. Nichols, right? It was so amped up, and they beat Mr. Nichols to death. They killed him. Well, certain ones, like, but when you have several police officers around, okay, there has to be at least one to be sound-minded and push or pull the bad police officers, the one that are physically attacking the victim, like Mr. Nichols, and say, hey, listen, he down to the ground, they're handcuffed. That's it. Back the hell off. And that should be that. You don't go beating a person to death when they're down on the ground and handcuffed and so on. And like I said, again, once they're down on the ground and handcuffed, you're supposed to just pick them up and put them in the back of the police car. And then that's it. And then everybody needs to calm down. That's it. You do not go beating a person to death. That's that. And I understand that police officers have a code in which it's brothers and sisters of the badge, meaning one police officer does not go against another police officer. And I understand that. But just because something is understandable does not mean that it's right. Okay? The sound-minded police officer needs to push or pull back the bad police officer from committing murder and stuff. And you don't go physically attacking a person that is down on the ground, handcuffed and stuff. You don't do that. So the ones that did the physical attack to Mr. Nichols, those are the ones that need to be convicted by the court of murder and be placed in prison. And as far as for the other police officers just standing around and not stopping the other police officers from beating Mr. Nichols to death, you also did really wrong. In my book, you should have stopped your fellow police officers from physically attacking and killing Mr. Nichols, especially from when he was down on the ground and handcuffed and stuff. And like I said, yes, I know the officers had to give chase to Mr. Nichols and stuff, and the adrenaline was flowing and everything, and I understand all that. But it doesn't give you the right to commit murder. Okay? And the ones that physically attacked and murdered Mr. Nichols, those are the ones that need to be put in prison and charged with murder. And I've also said it in prior episodes, ladies and gentlemen, that there needs to be proper police reform, and in which, maybe it has to start from Washington, D.C., from our government in Washington, D.C., on the federal level. There needs to be a national law in which all the departments from in all the cities, throughout all the states, okay, in every single state, they have to follow a national law. And I personally feel that all the police departments throughout all 50 states, all of them, should be overseen by the federal government. And if you have officers that commit murder, there needs to be a federal government agency to go and arrest these police officers and put these officers in a federal government prison. I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I strongly believe that there needs to be something done from a federal level, in which all the police departments in every single state, etc., has to follow. But I also know that for each police department, they're seen by each city and state. There's no national police, in other words. And every state, like, your local police departments, they're not federal workers. So, but something needs to be done. It needs to be done. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say. And but there needs to be, a national law that every single police officer throughout every state and stuff needs to follow. Something's got to be done, ladies and gentlemen. Enough is enough. And I'm not for defunding the police. I'm not for getting rid of all the police departments. No, that's stupid talk. That's stupid talk. When I hear people say, defund every police department, let them all shut down. That's stupid talk. Because like I said, there are many great police officers out there. It's just unfortunate that there's also bad ones that just make all the good ones look bad. So something needs to be done from our government. Anyways, I wanted to let all my fans know out there about the business that my husband and I have together called AWLDNY. The link to there is awldny.com. You guys could check out all the items on there. I also wanted to remind all my fans out there about my other business, my other website that I have called Advocate Information Highway. And the link to there is AIHNY.com. Again, that is AIHNY.com. You guys can check out all the pages on there. And on the homepage of my website of Advocate Information Highway, you will see the link to my internet store on Zazzle.com, in which I designed a lot of products, and they're up for sale on there. Also, on the homepage of my website of Advocate Information Highway, you will see the link to my author's page on Amazon. And if you guys follow that link, it'll bring you to my author's page on Amazon, and which then you guys can purchase both of my books as well. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.